I don't know what it is with me, but like I tend to, even when I'm not trying to be on socials and not being a part of the scene or whatever, they always find a way to just warp me back in or lure me back in or drag me back, or try to drag me down anyways.
Sweet. Well, Notes, thank you so much. I'm Adam, and this podcast is about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about Kiss Don't Tell as well.
Dope. I'm ready, man. I'm excited. Thanks for having me on this podcast as well.
Oh, anytime. So first off, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Homerton Hospital in a place called Hackney, and postcode. So I just call it Northeast, even though it really isn't. You know what I mean? But that's just our thing, innit? Northeast.
Are you in the city then? Are you actually in the city of London?
Yeah. Right now I'm in the city of London. Well, I've been in the city of London most of my life. But as you can...
I lost you there for a second.
Yeah. There you go. You got all of these Victorian looking buildings.
Oh, that's dope. So you're cruising through the city right now?
Cruising through the city, man. About to go to a jewelry store.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, man, the nice way.
You know what you're going to pick up? You already know what you're going to get or what?
I'm just going there to talk business, mainly.
Oh, right on. Cool.
Yeah.
So, what was it like growing up in London? That must have been pretty exciting.
If you want to talk about adrenaline pumping, then yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, it was good. I guess I've been open to so many different like cultures and different types of people and family and communities, just being, you know, from London or living in London. And I wouldn't necessarily get that how do you say it? I wouldn't necessarily get that privilege anywhere else. If you think about it, it's a multicultural city and it thrives in that. So yeah, no, it's been good. It has its days though. There's a lot of, especially the area that I grew up in, there's a lot of you know, just craziness happening, whatever.
Oh,
yeah. Kind of like New York.
Okay. I can get that one. All right, right on. What about a musical household? Do you come from a musical household at all?
Yeah, so well, my mom tells me stuff about her parents or her parents' brothers and sisters, and them playing saxophone for the likes of Fela Kuti and other big Nigerian acts back in them days. But apart from that, my mom just used to sing a lot around the house, and my dad, although I don't really have a close relationship with him, he was like producing a lot, so that was his main hobby. Just produce and make beats, even though he wasn't really feeding it to anyone. I used to be a massive fan of it, you know, and from there I just always wanted to make my own raps, or I was rapping DMX lyrics from when I could talk, and
that's awesome.
Different things were going down that would allow me to want to create or be a creator as opposed to being a consumer. So yeah, I just grew up loving music. I would say my family had something to do with it also, but then again, my side of music, what I've wanted to do is completely different from everyone else's side. So it's like, yeah.
Sure. What about you? So you didn't pick up a saxophone or anything like that? Wasn't a go-to just because it was in the family?
That was a part of the plan. I don't think I've got the windpipes for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I did definitely pick up like bass, guitar a lot during like school times and stuff. And then I went on to starting to play the acoustic, and then before that, before my brother's granddad passed away, when I was very young, he would teach me how to play the keyboard. So it was like, there was a lot of stuff going on, but then I didn't really want to stick with any of it, I'll be real. I just wanted to sing and rap and let my voice be heard instead of something I have to touch to be heard, if that made sense.
Yeah, no, completely. So with that, like, how old were you when you started writing, you know, whether it be raps or melodies?
I was in year 4 or year 5, so in
Wow,
the
really young then. Like,
year
what is that, like 8, 9,
5.
10
How
ish?
old? How old is that? Yeah, 8. I think it's like 7, 8.
8 or 9, I
Yeah, 8.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay,
yeah.
so
And
you're
that
real
that
young.
song was about like, yeah, that was about like starving children in Africa and stuff.
Wow. So you
It
already
was
had
a
it like a
deep,
deep, it wasn't, yeah, that's pretty deep for an 8-year-old. You know what I mean?
yeah. It was a bit. It was a lot. It was a lot. Something about we are the children of Niger, or the children of Africa,
Mhm.
and it's food. And the lyrics didn't make sense, but it made sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Uh,
for sure. And what about like, so at that point, I mean, starting that early on, was it something that you always had a passion for? Like you knew that you wanted to pursue music as like kind of a dream, so to speak, or was that like always what you wanted to do?
Music, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I like everybody's dream in the UK or in London specifically, or in the UK actually, as a boy, is to be a footballer.
Oh,
And
I
I
was
had football dreams.
I
You know
figured.
what I mean? Or anywhere else in the world, or other places in the world, as a soccer player. But yeah, like I had football dreams. But unfortunately, the injury stopped me from becoming pro. You know what I mean? So
Oh wow,
yeah.
you were really good. So you played quite a bit.
No, I'm actually lying. I'm joking with you. I mean,
Oh,
so like I said,
I was
no,
gonna
I didn't
say,
get no
damn,
injury.
dude.
I didn't get no injury, but I feel like that's everybody's excuse that didn't make it. You know, the injury.
Yeah.
The
If coach would have
injury
put me
took
in,
me
man.
out.
If you would have put me in that game, we would have had it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I guess throughout primary school and into more like college, high school area, were you writing your own songs and like showing them to people, releasing them at all?
What
Or when
while
did that
while in
begin?
school?
Yeah, yeah. Like when did you start
Um,
kind of putting stuff out and kind of, being more of a like making a name for yourself and kind of coming out as notes and putting that songs up? Was that
I
later
can't
down the
lie. I
line?
used to I used to bunk lessons to go to the school studio.
Oh,
So I
really?
literally, yeah, I'll bunk like so many lessons in a day. Like, and it was like a daily routine. And then I'd start like getting like the worst punctuality I think I had the worst punctuality in my year group, but it was literally because teachers couldn't sign me in because they didn't know where I was. They thought I wasn't in school. But
You
these
were just
times I was
in
just
this. You were
cooling
in the
off in the
studio.
school studio, yeah, not getting caught by no teachers. Because none of the teachers really cared about the school studio.
That's cool. Your school had a studio.
Yeah, yeah, it had two actually. One small one, like a very tiny one. But that was mainly like a production slash writing room. And then they had like a proper one with like the booth and everything, mad microphone. That's when I started
Wow.
learning about a lot of stuff to do with like the technical side of music as opposed to just the practical side of it.
Uh-huh. And were you writing your own, beats and instrumentals behind what you were doing
Yeah, yeah.
vocally?
No, with the beats, I'll try and produce, but I was never really that good. Um, so I just kind of left it with the people that were good at it, or
Hmm.
I'll just get YouTube beats at the time, just write as much as I could to them, or write to like Drake headlines and
Oh, sure.
what other songs would I write to back then? There was quite a few still. Ghetto Coyote instrumental, which is like a proper grime, um, old school grime, 140 BPM type
Okay.
instrument. But there was like a lot of different things that I would write to and just keep writing to without having to produce myself or make anything new or having to buy an instrumental because I wasn't making no money then. And my parents have never had money in their life like that either. So it was like, yeah, I was just trying to just write as much as I could.
Uh-huh. What was like the first kind of big, milestone or validation that you received as far as like your music went? Was there like a song that went, you know, it blew up more than any of the other ones, or was it like, can you
Um,
pinpoint kind of a moment that everything changed for you?
you know what? Yeah, I'm very sentimental. So there was a time that I'd released a song on SoundCloud. It was the second release I've ever done on SoundCloud, and the song was called or titled "Toju Me," and that means "take care of me" in my native language, which is Yoruba from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I'd made the song, I released it, and it was just doing its thing on SoundCloud. And then when it got like 100K plays on SoundCloud, at that time, which was like 2015, that was a big thing, you know what I mean? And
Oh
um,
yeah.
especially for me at the time, and I'm performing at a lot of block parties in the area in Hackney and different places, and like the responses that I'm getting from it were like everybody loved it. I was technically hood famous before I ever had any sort of, you know,
Like mainstream success.
industry fame or industry clout or industry anything. For me,
Yeah.
like going over the years and everything and sitting down and actually breathing in and taking everything in, like I've come to realize that that was probably one of the most important points or most pivotal moments in my career, only because without that, you know, or hood success or whatever the case is, you won't really have a foundation, or I wouldn't have really had a foundation there anyways, which, you know, if I just came and started busting up the industry and then just bust out, like I couldn't really come back to that. But because I've got
Mm-hmm.
that foundation, I can come back to it whenever I want.
No, for yeah, and I've heard a lot of our other artists talk about that because I mean, 100,000 streams is a lot of plays. I mean, obviously not compared to what you have now on, 80 million, on some. It's just like, but
Yeah.
like when you think about that, having one song do 100,000 streams when you have no, you didn't have industry backing or anything like that. It
I
was
didn't
just
I
like,
didn't
I'm
have
gonna put
management. I didn't
just
have anything.
yeah, you just put the song up and people,
Mhm.
100,000 people stream the song. It's like, wow, okay, this guy's really got something going on.
Yeah. It was a special moment. Like it was all special for me. Because it came without any of the, I wouldn't call it the fake ish, but I'll just say like it just came without any of the industry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was completely natural. It weren't artificial at all. It was like it was processed correctly. I was just doing everything my own way. And it came like I got a lot of support within that time frame, a lot more support within that time frame than I've had while having millions of streams and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It might sound weird, but yeah, that's how I kind of feel. Like the support system there within that scenario was much stronger than all of this other stuff. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Do you feel it's
All of this
because
other
once it
stuff.
kind of blows up to a point, it's like you have more eyes on you, obviously, but I don't know. Like, I guess why do you say that? Do you feel like because people found you early on like that and you had 100,000 people backing or listening to you when you didn't
Yeah,
have the clout kind of behind you at that point, that it was kind of
yeah.
more
I
like
feel like
real?
I feel like once we get to a certain place, the people that you know that are there to support you might not actually be there to support you. They're there to latch onto you. There's a difference. And I feel
Mm,
like when I was doing the 100Ks and all of these things on SoundCloud, sorry, alone, it was like there was nothing to latch onto because it's free. Like I'm not making money from SoundCloud. You know what I mean?
right,
Like
right.
at the time. So it's like there's nothing to feel like, oh yeah, you can hold on to that person or you want to latch on to that person. Maybe just for the sake of saying that, oh, you know that person, like that's why you latch onto them. But even then, like the support of that is like you really want that person to get somewhere because they've got 100K streams and you really love their song and you might know them personally. you want them to get somewhere. Once that person is somewhere, you don't necessarily want them to get anywhere anymore because they're already there at the place that you wanted them to get. You know what I mean? So it's like that support system is now you know, fizzled out just because of the fact that they feel like you're already there anyway. So why should I support you?
Oh, and that's a very interesting point because I never thought about that. So, because when you're an independent artist and you have 100,000 streams, and if somebody finds you and they're like, "Wow, this is a great record," they're gonna like champion for you more because it's like, "Oh, I found Notes when he wasn't massive." You know what I mean? Instead of like landing
everyone
on
says it. You know, everyone feels like, oh yeah, or I put you onto that song, or I don't want to put this song on my Insta because everyone's gonna use it and it's gonna get rinsed out. You know, everyone has that weird perception on certain scenarios and certain things and businesses or music or whatever the case is. Everyone has that, like, I don't want to show people what clothing brand this is because everyone's gonna go and buy it. Is that that feeling of exclusivity? You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that warped ideology in their mind that we must feel like only us have this. And then when everyone else has it, it's like you don't want anyone to have it anymore. So what tends to happen? Like, what do you do if you don't want people to have that thing that you have and you don't want no one else to have? You will either not talk about it to anybody else anymore and not care about it anymore, or you'll find a way to sabotage it so you're the only person that has it.
That's an interesting thing. Yeah, I never thought about that because I remember growing up, liking bands or artists, and then back then it was like to sell out. Oh, these artists sold out, and it's like if they got to a certain point in their career, they jumped, and now they're playing a venue in town that's 2 or 3 or 4,000 people, and the ticket's more expensive, and you're like, oh, I don't want this person. You kind of abandon ship at that point because of you.
But people forget. Like, even with that scenario, it's like, if I get bigger, team gets bigger, or the people that I associate, work with, all of this, there tends to become a lot more people. And you want a phenomenal show when you want to come and watch me do my performances, compared to the shows that you used to see me do before where I wasn't as big. If I'm going to give you a phenomenal show, I'm going to have to, like, money is going to have to go into that to create that phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so if the ticket prices are what the ticket prices are now, I mean, now I have a band, now I have a DJ, now I have a production team, now I have lighting, now I have, so many different elements to this show to give you the best that you want to witness.
Right.
So why complain about the ticket prices?
No, I 100% understand. I 100% agree with you. Yeah, because it's like, you're not in a club anymore by yourself. It's or whatever it may be. You're bringing the show, right? All the lighting, the production, the DJ, the band, and it's like gonna be this bigger thing. It's not like, oh, Notes is doing the same show that he did in 2015 at this small club that he's doing on this big main stage. It's like, no, you're bringing everything. You're bringing a bigger show, bigger performance, a bigger and more exciting, not more exciting, I guess, but just, like a bigger thing, right? Everything's
100
blowing up.
There was even one wireless that I had a performance at, one of the first wirelesses that I'd done. And they were giving me 20K for the performance at the time.
Wow.
But then 20K went to everything, to the stage, to the team, I didn't even get the 20K. But because I didn't even get a penny from the 20K like that. But because wireless is like my playground, as in, like, literally, I grew up down the road from where they put on the event. When I was younger, I could hear, I don't know, there was a year that Drake came, I could hear him doing his sound check before anyone's there from my house. You know what I mean? So it's like with that, like, because it cared so much to me, and because I care about my area or my peoples and and my fans and supporters that are there to watch me and paid for a ticket to come watch me, no matter the ticket price, I'm gonna give you my all, literally. So I'll give you whatever they've given me and put it back into this to make it
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. Um, so well, let's talk real quick about you have an EP coming out, 3-song EP.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
dropped.
yeah, it just came out. Tell me
Yeah,
about
see
that.
it,
Yeah, just
man.
don't tell.
Yeah, obviously there was just some London stuff that has gone on recently with me and yeah, with a girl in a particular TV show, and
Oh, I didn't
she
realize
meant
there's some drama
behind it.
for her
Yeah.
behind the story. Okay.
She went and mentioned my name on the show, saying that she's kissed me before or something like that. But it was like the show gets like 1.2 or to 1.8 million viewers per night. You know
Whoa.
what I mean? So it was like I was just kind of disappointed in the fact that my name was brought up, and
Oh.
because like my name, I don't know what it is with me, but like I tend to, even when I'm not trying to be on socials and not being a part of the scene or whatever, they always find a way to just warp me back in or lure me back in or drag me back, or try to drag me down anyways. But yeah, with that situation, she didn't say anything bad about me, but it was just there was no need to talk about me on national TV. So I just thought, you know what, let me make an EP quickly. Valentine's Day is coming up. Kiss, don't tell. Just kiss and don't tell. Like it's that simple. You know what I mean? Like it's not everything you must talk about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's kind of the concept behind it. And with last Valentine's Day,
Uh-huh.
I dropped a 3-track EP as well called Three Roses EP. So I feel like every Valentine's Day, I want to just cater to the women and see if I can just release like a quick 3 tracks or whatever, just to keep them happy for the year. And then I'll
Yeah.
just do whatever else I want to do.
I like that. That's a cool concept for sure. Were you shocked when you heard that that person mentioned you? Were you like, wait, what? Or
Yeah,
people
I,
or
I
I'm
can't
sure
lie.
you did
I
you
was just
see it
coming back.
live? Were you like, what the
No,
hell?
I didn't even see it live. My boy, so I've just landed into Ghana. So I was in Nigeria for about a month and a half,
Mhm.
and then I had some video shoots to do in Ghana. So as soon as I've landed, like I haven't even got Wi-Fi yet because the SIM cards and stuff, it don't necessarily work the same. So I've put on the Wi-Fi when I've landed at the airport in Ghana, and my phone's just going off. But I don't know why. Like everyone's just messaging me. I was so confused until I've gone into the man them's group chat. So me and my guys have a group chat,
Mhm.
and yeah, one of them said, "Notes, what have you done?" I said, "Wait, what are you talking about?" They were like, "Who have you been kissing?" I said, "What are you talking about?" Like, I was so confused. They said, "Love Island, have you not seen it?" I said, "What? I don't know what you're on about, bro. I'll be honest." Then they sent me the clip. And then after they sent me the clip, I've gone on WhatsApp and I've seen my mum has sent me the clip
Oh
and my
shit.
auntie has sent me the clip. Like this is like one of them TV shows that like everyone in the household would probably watch.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it's like The Bachelor here. I know
Yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah,
what it is. At least I've seen older seasons of it. Like I think it's on like
yeah.
Hulu or something. I've watched a bit of it.
Yeah, so there's a bit of that, you know what I mean? So it's like, or Too Hot to Handle, or one of them kind of stupid
Right,
shows.
right.
That's basically what the show is. I don't even want to give the show any clout by saying what the show name is, but that's basically what the show is. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I was just so confused because it wasn't number one, like we were never dating or anything like the such. Like we just met on a, you know, one of my birthday nights, and I
Mhm.
was super drunk, and you were with your friend, and you know it was me, you, and your friend, and you didn't want to say your friend's name, but you want to say my name. Okay, you know what I mean? There was a lot
Right.
going on, and it felt like you know the show kind of put them up to it in a sense where like I'm sure they've asked them questions to her before, and then she's probably told them that information, and they're like, yeah, say that.
Right.
Say
Of
that.
course. Of
We
course.
want that. We want a bit of that, yeah? Make sure you drop it right after this line and that line. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think has really gone on, because I don't understand why the girl would do that in the first place. Like, well, cool. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying, but it is what it is. It's not like she mentioned me in a bad way anyways. So.
Right. No, yeah, it's got to be well, because it works because you are a public figure, so they're probably like trying to figure out what angle they could go with her, and they're like, oh,
Yeah, no,
okay,
they mentioned funny enough, they mentioned Usain Bolt as well. So
oh,
I thought,
really?
yeah, one of the other girls mentioned Usain Bolt, so I'm cool. I'm in the same boat as
Yeah.
Usain Bolt.
No, that's bad.
I'm cool.
Well, dude, I love the EP, and you've got so much music out. You crank a lot of music out.
Yeah, no, I've got so much more though. Like, you know what? Yeah, if I could drop once a week, I really would. That's 54, 56 songs?
52 songs.
52 songs. Yeah, 52 songs in a year. I'd love that. I don't see why that's not possible.
I'm
You know
sure
what I
it
mean?
is, but that's a you must be writing constantly. Were you writing when you said you were in Nigeria? Was that
Yeah.
a trip to write?
Not necessarily, because my mum was staying there for a while before I got there, so I just really wanted to see my mum.
Oh, okay.
And there was a lot of work stuff going on as well, in sense of like working with people, linking up with people, doing shows out there, the festivals that were going on out there. What else? There was quite a few things going on while I was out there, to be honest. But
Mhm.
Ghana was where I was meant to shoot in Nigeria first, but then we ended up shooting in Ghana instead. So I had to go on a plane from there, wait a month, go on a plane from there, get to Ghana, shoot 2 videos in 3 days, and then leave, go back to London.
Wow, that's a lot.
Literally.
Have you
But the
dropped those
videos are
videos
so
yet?
dope. No.
Okay, I was gonna say I
But
didn't
they're
see anything.
so dope. April 12th is gonna be the first drop, 4 days after 5 days before my birthday. And the next drop will be the 17th of May, I believe.
Okay.
So those will be, and then I'm dropping another tape within that time of the 17th of May, maybe on the same day.
Wow. And so are these 2 videos going to be songs from that tape?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
that tape is like an Afro, because I'm Nigerian, so it's like, and I'm part of that diaspora,
Uh-huh.
so it's like, I'm trying to, not even trying to, I'm blending the two in a way where it's like, obviously is very authentic Nigerian African sounds in terms of the production and just the theme of things. However, it's still very much me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still very much that diaspora feeling of like the mixture of cultures, of being around so many cultures in this one London, and being over in Africa and enjoying it how I did. So yeah, it's going to be a good tape, and it's got a very good feature on it, and in general, it's got like very good producers on it, very very good producers. So it should be a very good tape. 7 tracks, going to be nice.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, I can't wait to hear it, man. And I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time today. Notes, thank you so much for doing this.
My blessings, man. Thank you for having me. Definitely,
Yeah, I have one
it was a
more
good
question
convo.
before I let you go and shop some jewelry. I want I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Advice for aspiring artists. There's a difference between consistency and perseverance, and to persevere is what you need to do to actually make anything happen for yourself, especially when you feel like nobody's listening to you, or hearing you out and caring about what you do. You don't need the intimate people around you to care about what you do. You need the world to care about what you do. So make it happen.
Bringin with that word.